What's going on, guys? I'm going to show you how to do a flamingo on your skateboard. So there is one requirement for a flamingo, and that is a no comply 180. I can't even no comply 180, but it does help to know how to no comply 180 because this trick does sort of use the fundamentals of a no comply. So this is the foot positioning for the flamingo. The foot positioning is actually the most important part of this trick. So your back foot is hanging off the board a lot. So I'd say almost maybe over half of my foot is off of the board, and it's more on the curve here. So on the top part of the tail, right in the middle. About half, maybe over half, is hanging off of the board. And front foot is just, you know, whatever you feel like. For me, it's a kick flip and a sort of. Alright, so I'm going to talk about the front foot first. If there was a no comply, you would step off, right? But it's not exactly like a no comply, because you actually don't want to put your front foot on the ground instantly, or you don't want to put it to the side of the board, because when you scrape like this, you're going to do a tail slide on your leg instead of a board slide. Alright, so you want the board to be on your back foot, not the tail. So you can't step directly to the side, otherwise that happens. So what you got to do is you got to lift up with your front foot, and you got to lift up and sort of bring it around to the middle. Your feet have to be sort of parallel when you land. So let me just show you. That is completely wrong. Alright, so you see how my feet are parallel to each other? If I was to stand like this, they're in line with each other. So that's why you can't put your foot out like a no comply, otherwise your feet are too spread apart and they've got to be parallel to do the flamingo. So don't put your front foot down straight away, you got to bend down and lift up and sort of do like a circle motion with your front foot to bring it in front of your back foot. So you gotta bend down and sort of spring up. That's going to give you some air time, so you actually have a bit of time to lift up with your front foot to bring it around here. So it should look like this. Sort of. Bend down, spring up, lift the front foot up, land. So yeah, that's the most critical advice for your front foot. It's not a no comply, but it's like a no comply wrap around to get parallel. Now the back foot. Okay, so the back foot. The back foot's pretty easy to do, to get the hang of, at least I found. Your back foot's completely flat. You're not on your tippy toes. Not that you can be on your toes, but completely flat. And you actually pop this trick, kind of. You pop and scrape. It's like a combination of a pop and a scrape. You really want a sturdy pop, but while you're popping, you're also scraping it, so you can get it high and obviously sideways. So mix a pop and a scrape together. I don't know if you could see that. I'll slow-mo it, probably make a bit more sense. So you pop, you scrape. It's a really quick motion and you can get your feet in this position. To come out of it, it's extremely random, I feel. I feel like sometimes it's random, but it also has a bit of skill to it. So to come out of it, you kind of got to leverage the board this side, like over here, and that will give you something to grip on the other side to bring it around. You know what I mean? You go, and then just wrap it around your front foot. You can practice, this is a good practice step, just getting into it like this and then just go on this side and then bring it around. Yeah, just practice this a whole bunch. Okay, the main thing for coming out, other than what I mentioned with the leverage with around your foot is to just keep your back foot really close to the board. Don't let it go too far away, otherwise it might flip upside down and do all sorts of stuff that you don't want it to do. So keep it close. And if you keep it close, you'll be able to keep the board more in control when you exit the Flamingo. Actually, I'm just noticing right now that when I come out of it, I'm just noticing that it goes like this, right? And now it could over-rotate, but I sort of push my back foot down, and that just stops the board from rotating. So once you get to like the halfway point, just push down. Your feet are obviously pointed when you're behind your back foot to coming out. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that helps. I don't know if I mentioned it, but yeah, when you pop it and scrape it, your back foot, you're pointing your toes to the ground. So your toes are pointing to the ground, and just imagine my front foot's here. My toes are pointing to the ground and pushing against my front foot like that. And that's basically everything that I know about flamingos. Obviously you want to do this on a bank, but when you're learning it, just do it on flat ground. But yeah, definitely take it to a bank for more stees. But I learned it on flat ground first, and it works perfectly fine on flat ground. Oh yeah, so if you do want to take it to a bank, you're gonna want to turn backside as well. So when you pop, this is where it gets a little bit hard. You gotta turn behind you. I mean, you can do a flamingo to fakie, but yeah, most people like to turn backside out to regular. It's hard to turn backside on flat ground, to be honest. It's easier to do on a bank than on flat ground. That's sort of the idea. All right, so the key information is to not do a no comply, but instead lift up and wrap your front foot around so your feet are parallel. And the other key thing is to pop your board. Pop your board and scrape it really hard. Don't muck around with the pop and the scrape, because the higher you can get it, the more comfortable it feels. Those are the main things that you want to focus on. Alright, if you like the video, smash like. If you hate it, I don't know, smash like anyway. Peace out.